What do I mean by it's a powerful controlling mechanism over the audience? With this part of anticipation, we get more into the filmmaking aspect of the principle. And to help illustrate, let me share with you a real-life observation that I had while my wife and I were serving as nursery leaders for the 2 to 4-year-old toddlers for my church a few years back. We were living in the Philippines at the time, and before we took over that responsibility, I observed the current nursery teachers trying to teach and to keep the kids' attention in the classroom. And unfortunately, I didn't think they were very successful. For example, they would try and lead the kids in a song called Do As I'm Doing. You probably heard that song. It goes like this. Do as I'm doing, follow, follow me. And the kids would follow whatever action they were doing and so forth. But these teachers would get up, and this is how they would do it. Do as I'm doing, follow, follow me. Do as I'm doing, follow, follow me. And so how do you think the kids responded to that? They were not paying attention, for one thing, and they were not under control because they were running around, jumping on each other, and whatever the teachers were doing was not interesting enough for them to pay attention. And why is that? Well, obviously, they needed to show more energy and enthusiasm and more exaggeration in their actions, right, to make it more interesting. But more than that, they were missing one word: showmanship. And one of the best contributing elements of good showmanship is the power of anticipation, believe it or not. So when I got up there, I would get their attention, and we'd all start together with a big anticipation, you know. I would say, okay, kids, gather around. We're going to sing Do As I'm Doing. Who wants to sing that? Okay, they'd come over. And then I'd start the whole thing with a big anticipation. Ready? Here we go. Do as I'm doing. Follow, follow me. Do as I'm doing. Follow, follow me. If I do it high or low. If I do it fast or slow. Do as I'm doing, follow, follow me. Okay, so that was very embarrassing. But can you see the difference and the power that it can give you as a performer to keep the audience engaged in your performance as you anticipate those actions to make them stronger? Because when something is unclear, you'll lose your audience. They will either get confused, they won't see the action or whatever, and they'll stop caring about what you're doing. It's kind of a silly example, but it's very true. Street performers and magicians become masters in the use of anticipation for that very reason. It's kind of their stock in trade, and they use it to not only hold your attention, but to make sure that you see certain actions. So take notice the next time that you go out and see them perform. As an animator, it can be very helpful for you to notice those techniques. Oh, that's funny. Memories. Now let me illustrate with another example. When I lived in Southern California and was working for the different studios there, my nieces and nephews would come to visit me every once in a while, and we'd have a ball going to the many theme park rides, like at Six Flags Magic Mountain and Universal Studios or Disneyland. And one day I took them to a place called Knott's Berry Farm, where we found one of the best rides ever, called Supreme Scream. It was a triple tower turbo drop free fall thrill ride that was about 325 feet in the air from its base to the very tippy top of its structure, the tallest in the world of its kind apparently. The beauty of this ride is that it would take us up slowly, little by little, and up and up and up higher, and we'd slowly climb higher and higher, and our feet were dangling, and we could look down at the vast cityscape from that dizzying bird's eye view, and up and up and up we went, till finally we reached the top, and... Now let's stop right there. What just happened? I controlled you. Whether you like it or not, I controlled you, didn't I? As a filmmaker to an audience, I mean. I had you in the palm of my hand as you listened to that story, waiting to hear what was going to happen when we reached the very top. That, my friends, is the power of anticipation in filmmaking. So when I say that it can be a powerful controlling mechanism over our audience, what I'm saying is that it can help you to grab and keep the attention of the audience. And that in filmmaking is a very powerful thing. So when we got to the top, they didn't just drop us right away. The locks would release and sound like this. And they just held us there, and we were waiting until that unexpected moment, and then they would drop us, and we'd be free falling, screaming like babies all the way down for 300 feet. Now my question to you is this: would that drop be very much fun or very effective emotionally without all that wonderful buildup and anticipation beforehand? The answer is no, it wouldn't be. And that's why they designed it that way, right? For a better thrill. And again, that's why I say that anticipation is more important than the action itself, whether it be in a movement or in the filmmaking aspect of that principle.